guys who are interested and don't know, is a process of creating the illusion of life with puppets and sets, taking a real object in the real world and pushing it a little bit. You get your camera, you click, you push, you click, you push, you click, and basically you've got a series of frames. I don't know if you've ever seen. I'm trying to see what that's at. That's all live action right there. But we'll go into the animation in a second. It's a really beautiful medium to work with. It allows. I was just talking to one of the students a minute ago. It allows all the texture from a sculpture or a puppet to really just kind of come forth, and you can see exactly what sort of creating that thing is all about. I take it that's a cat.
Yeah.
Oh, that cat's no longer with us.
Oh, no.
Did you kill it?
No, but it tasted really good.
Yes!
No, his name was Edgar, so he's gone. But anyway, he made him a star before he left. But so stop motion animation. This particular project is called Funeral March for a Marionette. It was based on Charles Gounod's famous work, musical work. It's the Alfred Hitchcock theme song back in the day, in the old '60s. It was a TV show called Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Yeah, it's kind of it's a really cute little piece of music, and I always loved it. I was inspired by the music to do this. This is our main character. I'll just give a director's commentary on the film. That makes sense. This is our main character. He's our marionette. Obviously, like the title says, Funeral March for a Marionette. The story pretty much wrote itself. It's a puppet who's got to die at some point. So I figured my friend Andy, who played the butler, could kill him. And he falls to his death from the toy dresser, and all the other little puppets and toys that are probably in your room have to kind of wake up and deal with what has happened emotionally. So these guys are waking up, trying to see what's going on. The little blinks there are done in a series of eyelids that have to be replaced and taken off. And this particular marionette puppet was actually created with a wire frame inside of his body. He's a clay figure with wires inside. He's got his little costume on to kind of hide all the wires. The same thing with the birds here. Their bodies are sponge and latex and then covered with feathers. In stop motion animation, you have to create almost every single prop that's going to be used because it has to be moved frame by frame at a time. So little coffins or wheels or whatever have to be manipulated in such a way so they'll hold their pose. So when you're moving a puppet on set, everything is got to be able to hold itself up by its weight. This huge book was created. It's probably about 2.5 feet tall. And that's Bronte the elephant. C is for cemetery. He comes in. This was all done on 12 frames per second. So basically, you're watching 12 pictures go by your eye every second that this film is on. Sometimes I'd be on the set. I worked this in a garage studio, and I'd be in the garage probably for about 4 hours just for about 5 seconds worth of work. So sitting there, kind of moving 13 puppets. This particular shot right here took about 5 hours for those few seconds. It makes a lot more sense with music too. So. It was one of those things. My birthday's in October, so my mom used to always give me Halloween birthday parties. So most of my characters have sort of a little bit of a dark feel, I guess, sort of zombie kind of look to them.
I like it.
Where is Stone?
Stone, he's not in here.
And all the dirt, all the backgrounds. Most of the backgrounds were created with styrofoam and paper because we're in a pop-up dictionary. Kind of lends itself for sort of that flat paper look. All the grass and the little flowers, the little lilies all have to be created by hand. The trees, everything that you see is all hand created. And we're back into the pop-up dictionary and back into the real world. Blink, blink, and depressed. Everyone's going back to the shelf. Now that he's been buried, they can all sort of go back to their little shelf life as quiet little toys. This is our leader, Father Cayman. Blows out the candle and we say goodbye to our nursery set. It's a pretty short little story. Not too much to be done in a funeral march, other than just kind of watching people bury their friend. But what is this?
Zombie.
Was he dead?
A sequel with
That
zombies.
was my first film.
A zombie sequel.
Maybe there might be zombies, yeah. Zombies and evil, maybe. Sorry?
This looks like some Tim Burton shit, man.
Yeah. Tim Burton's got a really kind of fun Halloween vibe to it, too.
Yeah.
It's Halloween, but with not quite very depressing.
Yes, it's a little more cute.
Yeah.
Any
Especially
questions?
my
I know,
mom.
given the circumstances today, it was a little wacky to watch the film without sound, but
Yeah.
any questions about this film I can answer?
How long did it take you to make this, man?
This film was 6 minutes long and it took me a year to do everything.
Damn.
Making 13 puppets, sets, and everything.
That's
Yeah.
impressive. How did you
Insane, man.
first get the idea for the
I know,
film
yeah.
for Marinate?
Well, Funeral March was a classic piece of music and just basing that on the song. Just kind of listening to the song second by second, trying to come up, basically use my imagination to come up with a storyline, saying, oh, okay, well, with this crescendo, this could happen, or maybe the book could open at this point, or whatever. So it's kind of I don't know if you guys know what a storyboard is. It's basically where you kind of take a comic book version of your idea and you put it on panels and you kind of flesh it out, sort of.
Yeah, I make
I was
those all the
watching
time.
it. Good. It's a really great way to flesh out some of your ideas, to kind of see exactly what you'll be working with. So the next film I'm going to show is called The Fall of the House of Usher. It's a 40-minute film. It's based on Edgar Allan Poe, The Fall of the House of Usher. So it was one of those things I always wanted to see it. Nobody had done it, so I made it.
Which
actually-
that one is a live action or another stop?
No, it starts off as a live action, and we see one of our characters
Oh, is
inside
that
his
what those
mind.
apertures are for?
Yeah, that's what these puppets are from the film. Yeah.
Okay. So that's actually puppets from the Fall of the House of Usher?
Right. These are puppets and characters
Love
from
that.
The Fall of the House of Usher.
I
We'll
love
check
that
them out,
story. So it's story.
It's pretty heavy.
I actually wanted to do one for my media class for The Raven,
Oh, right. Yeah.
and I'm thinking of doing that.
That's great. Yeah, Edgar Allan Poe has so much inspiration, for me at least. Some people think he's a little dark, but... So if you guys just bear with us for a minute, I think we'll be able to get it on.
I have a question.
Thank you. Yes?
I know because I do so many projects, how do you find the motivation to keep on going? Because it's very tedious and it's a very long-term project.
It is
there ever
tedious.
a time where you just want to push it all away? And how do you find the
It
motivation
is.
to keep on going?
The thing about stop motion animation is once you start a scene, you start moving that puppet slowly but surely. If you bump a light or bump a puppet or something falls over,
Oh, you're screwed.
you've got to start all over again. That's sort of the beauty of this art form, is that it does take a sense of endurance and patience just to keep staying on that process. So when you finally do see all your characters come to life, it really makes it worth it.
And this is
Yeah.
not my thing.
Yeah, it's kind of makes you go a little crazy. And there were times when I was on the set. This next film took 4 years to make. So from the conceptualization, there's so much detail on the sets and everything. In a film called The Fall of the House of Usher, a house consists of walls and chandeliers and staircases and drapes and all this stuff that just had to be there. So
And then it all just fades away at the end.
and it all falls away. Yeah,
What
but
do
I don't want to give too much away, so you'll just have to see it.
What did you do with like all the puppets and marionettes after you were done with the stop motion? Do you keep them for maybe using them later?
Well, no. Usually, puppets are pretty ragged by the end of the shoot, and Funeral March for marionette puppets are all retired on the shelf at home. So you look at them, and they want to fall apart. So I don't look at them. They were really great. They were test puppets. I kind of learned, sort of got my feet wet with that project, and I was able, based on that experience, to build a little bit stronger puppets, which are the Fall of the House of Usher puppets. Although they scare me a little bit too. So
They're like, please don't.
yes, sir.